Hi everyone, welcome back. Alright, today we move to a beginner's flow. I'd like you to pause this video and just go and get some props. So firstly we need a piece of rope or a strap. You can use a towel, a long thin towel, or even an old t-shirt or anything that you can get your hands around and create quite a nice taut strap. Alright, so then you can just place that next to the mat. If you'd like to get a couple of books, or if you have some blocks lying around, you can use those, otherwise 2 books will be perfect. And then if you'd like to get a pillow, I have a bolster here, but you can use a pillow or a cushion or anything that resembles something soft just to put under your legs. And we'll start with our bolster, we'll start with our pillow. So I'd like us to start on our backs in Supine Twist, but we'll use the bolster or pillow as a prop. So we're going to place the bolster or pillow underneath our thighs, place the soles of the feet together, and then just roll yourself all the way down onto the mat. Just pressing the spine into the mat, maybe massaging a little bit as you come down. Moving your shoulders down, lengthening through the neck by just tucking the chin very slightly into the chest. And then taking the arms out to the sides. Palms can face the ceiling or the sky. And then just completely relax. Taking deep breaths in through the nose. Long, deep exhales or sighs out of the mouth. Creating a connection between your left foot and your right, creating a circle of energy through the body. Melting into your mat on every exhale. You can start to take your left hand to your heart. Take right hand to your belly. And start to deepen the breath. So breathing in through the stomach as you press into the right hand. Into the chest as you open up and expand through the rib cage and lungs. And then exhale, sigh everything out. And just carry on with this form of breathing. So breathing into the stomach, up into the chest, and then sigh everything out. You can really elongate the breath here, so take it slow. Letting go of anything that doesn't serve you today, whether it's tension or anxiety, stress, maybe tiredness, maybe any old stored emotions that don't serve you anymore or don't need to be in the body or in the mind. Feel the heart beating under your left hand. And the rhythm of the body as you create these oceanic waves of breath through the body. Take 3 more deep breaths like this. Becoming fully present on your mat, in your body, for the next hour. feel ready, you can start to release your hands, start to move your arms up above your head. Maybe start to release your feet as well, straighten out the legs on your pillow or your bolster, and just give yourself a full body stretch, lifting the spine off the mat and then rolling it back down, pointing and flexing the feet, wiggling your fingers, maybe rolling the wrists. Just listening to your body, listening to where it needs a little bit of work, a little bit of stretching, and just move to your own breath. And then start to imprint the spine into the mat as you lift your legs, and then just slide your bolster or your pillow away from your body. You can just place it against the wall or just a little bit away from your mat. And then take both legs up towards the ceiling. Taking your arms down by your sides, you can turn the palms so they're facing down, so you're connected with the earth and you feel fully supported. Starting to drain the legs as we invert, changing the flow of blood. And then start to point and flex the feet, connecting each breath to each point, each breath to each flex. Really exaggerating each movement as you start to wake up the feet from toes into the ankles, sending fresh blood to the knees and the hips. And then starting to roll your ankles, deep, wide rolls. Maybe changing direction on each foot, so moving them in different directions. Just do whatever feels good to the body. And then becoming still through the feet, relaxing the feet, and now taking all the awareness to the knees as you bend the knees up and down, creating movement, flexibility, blood flow in the knee joints. And then bending the knees completely, take the palms of the hands on top of your kneecaps. And now start to roll. So you bring the knees together, relax the feet, and then start to roll the knees away from each other as you take wide, deep rolls through the hips. Lubricating our hips, ready for the shapes we'll be making ahead. Creating blood flow, stretching, toning, stimulating the muscles, the tendons, the ligaments. And then connecting your breath for each roll. Maybe closing the eyes and just enjoying the feeling, taking all of your awareness to the hip sockets. Changing direction every couple of rounds. Slow, controlled movements as we start to open up the body. And then starting to become still again. We take the left leg onto the mat, so straighten out the left leg, flex the left foot, bend the right knee, bring the shin so it's parallel to the ceiling, calf parallel to the mat, flex the right foot as well. Take the left hand to the outside of the right knee and slowly start taking a supine twist over to the left. Take your right arm out to the side, relax your right shoulder into the mat, and then turn your gaze over the right shoulder. Very important to breathe into your twist. So taking deep inhales, and on the exhale is when we start to twist a little bit deeper. Stimulating our digestive organs, stretching out the lower back, stretching the neck, On the next inhale, slowly come back to the center. Take your hands now, interlace the fingers under your right knee and start to squeeze the right knee towards your right ear, pressing into the ascending colon. Maybe point and flex the top foot and then relax it and stretch a little bit more, pressing into the colon. Inhale, straighten out your right leg. Adjust your hips so you're lying straight, so maybe just shift your bottom from side to side. Adjust your neck, just so that you're lying in a straight line with a straight spine. Bend the left knee, flex the left foot. Take the right hand to the outside of the left knee and very slowly start to twist to the right. Take your left arm out to the side and then turn to gaze over your left fingers. Breathing into your twist. Supine twist. Deep inhales, long deep exhales as you melt into the mat, as you melt into your body. Relaxing the left shoulder into the mat. As you start to release your twist, we send fresh blood, oxygen and nutrients into the abdominal organs as we roll back. Change the interlacing fingers under your left knee. Start to squeeze your left knee towards your left ear, pressing into the descending colon, pointing and flexing the left foot, and then relaxing it completely and squeezing a little bit more towards the left side of the body, helping with elimination. And then releasing the left leg onto the mat. Coming into Supta Baddha Konasana without our bolster now. So bringing the soles of the feet together, opening the knees out towards the sides like a butterfly pose. Draw the heels quite close to the buttocks and allow the knees to fall out. Allow the hips to open quite naturally. Adjust your shoulders so they move down slightly, allowing your neck to grow a little bit taller. Take your arms out to the sides, palms face the ceiling. And we'll take 8 deep breaths here. Breathing into the stomach, up through the chest, elongating the breath, and then slow, deep exhale out of the mouth. Closing your eyes, just moving through the breaths in your own time. Keeping it controlled and slow. Finding this belly breath as we press the organs forward on the inhale, as we inflate the belly, and then release as we exhale. Almost like we're massaging our internal organs. Cleansing from the inside out. Take your time with your 8 full breaths, don't rush. When you're done with your 8 full breaths, you can take your hands to the outside of your thighs to start to press the knees and the hips together. Placing the feet flat on the mat, draw the heels close to the buttocks. Take your hands and palms flat onto the mat next to your body, drawing the shoulders down slightly. Take a deep breath in, start to rise. Pelvis lifts up towards the ceiling into bridge pose, Setu Bandhasana. Sweep the hands underneath your spine, interlace all 10 fingers. Adjust your shoulders so they move down slightly. Draw the elbows together. Press the pinkies into the mat. Press into the feet as you lift a little bit higher. Activating through the glute muscles, stretching out the cervical spine. Stimulating our thyroid as we press the chin into the throat. Start to release the hands, hold it there, and just very slowly, vertebra by vertebra, start to roll your spine slowly, slowly, all the way down, creating space within the vertebra and between the vertebra, connecting with our spine. Creating this fluidity and flexibility in the body, in the spine, in the mind. One more time, breathing in, roll the pelvis up towards the ceiling or the sky. Lift up as high as you feel you can, and then take your hands underneath your buttocks or your spine. Change the interlacing your fingers, change the thumb grip. Press the pinkies into the mat and lift a little bit higher as you press through the feet. Stretching out the belly. And then releasing the hands, and again very slowly connecting with each vertebra as you roll the spine down one by one. As you come all the way down, when your tailbone starts to meet the mat, we can take our feet off the ground, bend the knees, draw them back towards the face, but open up your hips, just like your Supta Baddha Konasana, but this time taking our 4 fingers, wrapping them around our big toes, and then drawing the knees down towards the mat, allowing the hips to open fairly naturally, and then maybe opening up the shins and the calves a little bit wider. Drawing the elbows down towards the mat, happy baby. So staying still if you're enjoying the pressure in the spine and the lower back. If you'd like to, you can even rock from side to side. Such a lovely pose. Just give the spine a massage. And then slowly start to release. Alright, give yourself a full body stretch and we'll start to make our way up. So in your own time, in any way that feels good to you, I'd like you to take the next few breaths to make your way onto your knees. So we'll come into a child's pose, Balasana. So in any way that feels good for you. We'll start with our knees together, toes touching, and sink buttocks down towards the heels. Take your arms out in front, spread your fingers, and either place your forehead on the mat, or you're welcome to use a block or a book and place it under your forehead. Grounding through the fingers, grounding through the knees and shins, grounding through the forehead. Changing our perspective. On the next inhale, I'd like you to lift your gaze slightly. You can take hold of both books or both blocks. I'm going to place them at the front of the mat. Now you can take your hands onto the blocks, spread your fingers and press them into the blocks as you bow your forehead a little bit further down towards the ground. Don't worry if it doesn't come all the way down. We just want to elongate the stretch through the upper body, through the arms, doming through the armpits. On the next inhale, lift your forehead off the mat. Sweep the right arm under the left armpit. Place your right cheek or right forehead on the mat. To deepen the stretch in the right shoulder, you can just move your bottom gently from side to side. And And then inhale, slowly come back to the center. Right palm meets the right block or book. Bowing your forehead back towards the ground. Take a deep inhale. On the exhale, left arm sweeps underneath the right armpit, left cheek or forehead on the ground. Maybe wiggle your bottom from side to side just to deepen the stretch in the left shoulder. Inhale, come back to the center, left palm meets your left block. Again, bow towards the center. On the next inhale, lift your gaze slightly, press your elbows into the mat. We create a prayer position, almost like connecting left and right. Our hands come together, and then take the hands out behind us. So we're going to press into the elbows as we push our buttocks back and take the hands behind the head. You can start releasing. Move your blocks or your books out of the way. Slide your hands back and start to come onto all fours. So stacking the hands underneath the wrists, the elbows and the shoulders. Spreading the fingers, creating a strong foundation through your hands. Knees stacked underneath the hips. Just get used to this new position. If you feel that your knees get a little bit sore on the hard floor, you're welcome to put a blanket underneath your knees. Take a deep inhale, and then on the exhale, start to round your spine. So lift the spine up to the ceiling, tuck your chin into your chest, and round the tailbone down towards the ground. Cat pose. On the next inhale, start to lower your belly, lift the heart, lift the gaze. Exhale, round. Breathing in, lower the belly, lift the heart, lift the gaze. Moving between your cat-cows now on your own time, so maybe closing the eyes, taking 8 full breaths here. Try to keep the energy flowing. Creating movement through the body. Calming the mind through this mindful movement meditation. Connecting breath to each movement. Staying fully present in your body, but also allowing the body to feel like it's moving very naturally. Take your time with your 8 breaths, don't rush. And when you're done, we'll meet in a neutral spine. So coming back to all fours, tucking the belly up towards the spine. Again, just spread your fingers, maybe readjust your foundations. And then slowly taking the left leg up behind you, flex the left foot, straighten out the left leg, keep it fully active. And then take the right arm up in front of you. And you can gaze over the fingers to help you a little bit with balance, or you can look down towards the front of the mat. Take a deep inhale here. On the exhale, start to squeeze your right elbow to your right knee as we sort of curl, almost like our cat pose. We round the spine. Inhale, start to straighten out. Exhale, curl. Keeping it slow and controlled, breathing in, straighten out. Exhale, curl. One more, breathing in, slow motion, straighten out, hold. Stay here if this is enough for you. If you're finding that this is quite a bit for balance, then just stay here and focus on the pose. If you'd like to go a little bit deeper, you can sweep the right hand behind you, bend the left foot, take hold of either the left ankle or the top of the left foot, and start to make your way into a bow, a half bow. So pressing your heart forward, stretching out the belly and lifting the left foot up towards the ceiling. Exhale, release hand and foot, come all the way back. Keep the left leg lifted, take the right hand to the ground, press it into the mat, come back to center, but keep your left leg up towards the back. And then take the left tippy toes all the way over to the right. You're going to place them onto the right part of the mat, roll your head over your right shoulder and look towards your left foot. Inhale, come back to the center. Now keep the left leg up behind you. Press all the way onto the right hand, right shin. Turn the back foot 95 degrees, baby half moon, as your left arm sweeps up towards the ceiling. Finding your balance. Staying here if this is enough. If you'd like to go a little further, you can take your hand behind, bend the left knee, take hold of your ankle or the top of your foot, and then press the left hip forward as you start to open up and stretch the belly, stretch and open the heart space. And then slowly release, come back, keep the left leg lifted, take the left hand back down towards the mat. Pointing the left foot, coming into tiger pose, bending the left knee, breathing in, curl the body as this left foot reaches up towards the ceiling. Open up the heart. Exhale, squeeze knee to nose as you curl inwards. Maybe even touch your knee to your nose or your forehead. Breathing in, curl all the way up. Again, slow movements. Open up the chest and shoulders. Exhale, curl. Touch knee to nose or knee to forehead. Breathing in, lifting up. Exhale, round, last one. Breathing in, lifting up. Exhale, come all the way down. Curl, hold. And then straighten out the left leg behind you. Now take the left foot all the way over to the left side of the ground or the mat. Place the foot on the mat, ground it first, and then start to slide up onto your right knee. Just find your balance, find some comfort here, and then start to sweep your left hand down your left leg, past the left knee, so never on the knee, either below or slightly above. Sweep the right arm up towards the ceiling, and then take it over, almost like an extended side angle as you press the right palm down towards the left foot. And then if you feel like you can, start to roll your head under your right armpit and look up towards the ceiling, feeling this beautiful deep stretch in the right side of the body. Inhale, come back to the center. Now take your right palm, flatten it onto the right part of the mat or right part of the ground, just off the mat. Sweep your left arm up towards the ceiling, turn the palm and take it all the way over to the right. Still pressing into the left foot, but now stretching the left side of the body. As if your foot is grounded, but someone is pulling your left arm. Roll your head under the armpit, look up towards the ceiling. Start to roll yourself all the way back to the center. Regrounding, pressing hands into the mat, strong foundation, knees meet the mat, left knee comes down. Just shift yourself, maybe do a child's pose just to stretch out the knees, just send some fresh blood into the knees and hips. And then come back to your cat-cows, pressing hands into the mat, stacking them under the elbows, shoulders, knees under the hips. Closing the eyes, now moving in your own time between cat-cow. Exhaling when you round. Inhale when you lower the belly, lift the heart, lift the gaze. Taking 8 full rounds. Trying to keep the energy flowing now that we're getting a little bit warmer. But still elongating each breath, still exaggerating each stretch. Taking your time, not rushing it. And then eventually meeting in a neutral spine. Maybe shifting hands, shifting knees, tucking the belly in towards the spine, almost like a strong tabletop as you press into the mat. Find your balance as you start to take the right leg out behind you, flex the right foot, squeeze through the glute muscle, fire up the hamstrings, the quads, almost like you're kicking this back foot into a wall. When you're ready, take the left arm up in front. Lift your gaze either to the front of the room or you can look to the front of the mat. Take a deep inhale, on the exhale, squeeze elbow to knee, slow motion. Breathing in, straighten out. Exhale, squeeze. Breathing in, straighten out. Exhale, squeeze. Breathing in, straighten, 2 more. Exhale, squeeze. Breathing in, straighten, last one. Exhale, squeeze. Breathing in, straighten, hold. Staying here if this is enough for you. If you'd like to go a little further, start to sweep the left hand behind you. Bend the right knee, take hold of either the right ankle or the top of the right foot. And start to kick that foot up towards the ceiling as you press your heart forward. Stretching up the belly. Opening the heart space. Finding balance within the body. Finding balance within the mind. Slowly release hand and foot. Take the left hand and palm all the way back down to the ground. Straighten out the right leg. Hold it here while you find your balance. And then take right tippy toes all the way over to the left, as far left as you can go. Twist your head over your left shoulder and look towards your left foot, your right foot, sorry. Inhale, slowly come back to the center. Place all the weight onto your left palm, left shin. Turn your back foot 95 degrees, baby half moon, as your right arm sweeps up towards the ceiling. Stay here if this is enough. If you'd like to go a bit further, take right hand to right ankle or top of right foot. Start to press the right hip forwards as we open up the heart space. Stretch through the belly, stretch through the psoas on the right. And then start to release. Come back to center. Right palm comes onto the mat. Roll your hips so they're square to the mat. Keep the right leg lifted, flexing the right foot. Hold it. Start to point the right foot, bend the right knee, tiger pose. Breathing in, reaching up, pointing the foot up towards the ceiling, curling the body as you push the heart forward. Exhale, squeeze knee to nose. Breathing in, curl. Exhale, squeeze. Breathing in, curl. Exhale, squeeze. Breathing in. Exhale, squeeze. Slow motion, 2 more. Breathing in. Exhale, squeeze. Last one, breathing in. Exhale, squeeze, hold. Straightening out the right leg behind you, keep it lifted. And then take the right foot all the way over to the right. Ground the foot into the earth as you start to slide onto your left knee. Take your right arm, sweep it all the way down your right leg, past your knee or just slightly above the knee. Take the left arm up towards the ceiling and then turn the palm so it now presses down towards the right foot. When you're ready, start to roll your head under your left armpit, look up towards the ceiling. On the next inhale, sweep your left hand all the way over to the left. Ground your hand into the earth. Try to stay flat on your palm. Roll your head up towards the ceiling as you take the right arm all the way over. And then lengthen from right toes or right foot, the outer edge of the right foot, all the way to your fingertips. Rolling your body all the way back to center. Grounding both knees, shins. going to extended child's pose. So opening the knees now to the sides of the mat, touching your big toes and sinking back into your hips. Moving arms forward, pressing the forehead either into the floor, the ground, or into a block. Take one more inhale. Slowly start to move your hands back. We sit on our knees and then we'll start to make our way up. So for Drasana, if you'd like to here, you can use a couple of blocks. So you can almost create a little bit of a stool for yourself. So if you have a couple of books, you can place some books on top of each other, or you can sit straight on your knees. And then we'll sit with our knees touching. Our toes will be turned inwards towards the back and heels falling out towards the side. So you're creating this little seat for yourself. And then take hold of your strap. You can just place it at the front of the mat. Closing the eyes. And then taking right hand to your heart space. Left hand to your belly. Starting with your belly breathing. Sitting tall through the spine. Tucking chin very slightly into the chest to elongate through the back of the neck. And start to breathe into the belly as you inflate, move the air up into the chest. And then long, deep sighs or exhales out of the mouth. Taking 5 full breaths like this. Massaging your abdominal organs, your digestive organs, as you inflate the belly, expanding through the rib cage, filling the lungs with air as you take the air up towards the chest. And then long, deep sighs out of the mouth. Creating circulation within the knees, the hips, the ankles. Take your time with your 5 breaths. When you're done with your 5 breaths, you can release your hands. Just roll the shoulders up, back and down. And then start to take hold of your strap. So we'll take the strap in both hands. You can just slide your hands through the strap. Take quite a tight grip. So we want the strap to be a little wider than our shoulders. On the next inhale, we'll take our arms, straight arms, all the way up towards the ceiling. And then maybe take them back slightly so you get this lovely stretch in the shoulders. When you come up, I'd like you to hold the breath. Exhale, come all the way back down. Slow, slow, slow. Breathing in. Hold the breath. Exhale slowly down. Closing the eyes, moving through 5 more in your own time. Really elongating the breath as you come up, so maybe even counting in your mind to see how many breaths it takes you to come all the way to the top. Maybe work on 6 counts. And then try to keep it even, so when we come down after holding the breath, you come down for the same amount of counts. Taking 4 more in your own time. When you're done, just rest. You can just place the top of the strap on top of the thighs, at the top by the hips. We'll use it again just now. Taking the left arm up in front, taking the right arm, wrap it under and around. Connect your palms together or your thumbs, and then start to lift through the elbows, draw the shoulders down, and then open up your throat to look at your fingers or slightly beyond. Tuck your belly in, sit tall through the spine. Garudasana arms, eagle arms. Take a deep breath in as you release the arms, open up chest and shoulders, almost like wings. Spread your wings open your heart space, wiggle your fingers, and then give yourself a hug. Left arm wraps on top. And then I'd like you to tuck your chin into your chest, elongate the back of the neck. Walk your hands back to your shoulder blades and press your fingertips into the muscle behind the shoulder blade. So you'll feel the softness behind the shoulder blade, just almost like a piano. Press into this muscle. Stay tall through your belly, try not to round too much and dip into the spine. And then slowly start releasing, roll the shoulders up, back and down. Doing the other side, right arm comes up in front, left arm wraps under and around, connect palms or thumbs, lift a little bit higher, so elbows up, shoulders down. Lift your gaze by opening your throat very slightly to look towards your fingers or slightly beyond. Tummy tucked in, lengthen through the body. Keep breathing, try not to hold the breath. As we intertwine our left and right, creating balance within the body, helping the energy move upwards. On the next inhale, slowly releasing, open up chest and shoulders, open up your arms like wings, wiggle your fingers, give yourself a hug, right arm wraps on top. Again, walk your hands back to where your shoulder blades are, tuck your chin into your chest, straighten up through the spine at the back, and then press into the soft muscles behind the shoulder blades. Giving yourself a little bit of a massage, a little bit of love. And then start to release, roll the shoulders up, back and down. Just moving the body, shifting it from side to side, rolling through the belly, rolling through the hips. And then last one on our knees before we start to make our way to a standing position. So taking the strap in the left hand, you're going to reach the strap up towards the ceiling, press it up as you lengthen through the left side of the body. Take the strap behind, so bend the elbow, and then internally rotate your right shoulder under or inwards, and then take your right arm behind to take hold of your strap. If you can reach your fingers, you're welcome to use your fingers as well. And create a link or a bind. Hold onto your strap, open up chest and shoulders, tuck the belly in, sit tall. Maybe close the eyes, or maybe open them and find a drishti point or concentration points in front of you. Taking 5 deep breaths. When you're done with your 5 breaths, you can slowly start to release. Stretch the left arm up towards the ceiling, release, and then swap hands. So take the strap in the right hand, exactly the same, press it up towards the right side of the body, lifting up towards the ceiling, drop the strap behind you, take left arm internally, rotate the left shoulder, left hand take hold of the strap, create your bind or your link, open up chest and shoulders, close the eyes or maybe gaze forward. Take take 5 full breaths. When you're done with your 5 breaths, you can start to reach up with the right arm. Release, strap all the way down to the mat, just move it to the side. And then remove your blocks, remove your books, and just get them away from the mat so there's nothing in your way or on the mat. And then we'll start to place the hands flat onto the mat. We'll start to tuck our toes and just release the knees by pressing the hips and buttocks all the way back as you press into the mat. And then start to straighten out legs into downward facing dog. So you might feel a little bit stiff here. Just start to walk out one leg at a time, almost like you're pedaling into the heels. Check your hands, make sure you have a strong foundation, allowing you to then move in this shape. So spreading fingers, pressing index fingers and thumbs into the mat. And then starting to press torso back towards the thighs, maybe rolling up onto the toes and rolling heels down. Just take the next 5 breaths to move into your downward dog shape, to get used to being upside down. Stretching our calves, hamstrings, just feeling it out. Where you need a little bit more movement. Really connecting the breath to each movement. As you start to release knees. Maybe flipping the toes. And then starting to make your way into a well-aligned downward dog. We won't hold for too long. So just check your hands, make sure they're equal distance apart, spread fingers. The lower part of the arms roll inwards, but the upper part of the arms roll outwards as your shoulders move back. Tuck your belly in towards the spine, push torso back towards the thighs. Draw the heels down towards the mat, even if they don't reach the mat, this drawing action of the heels as we're lengthening through the calves and hamstrings. On the next inhale, start to lift your gaze, look in between your hands, bend your knees, push your buttocks back towards the back of the room. And then step left foot to the outside of the left palm, right foot to the outside of the right palm as you bend the knees and come into squat. We won't stay here too long, hands to heart center. Connecting left and right, creating balance in the body. On the next exhale, straighten out your legs, press your hands into the mat as you start to roll your feet inwards, toes touching, heels slightly apart. Bow your forehead towards your shins. Starting to create a little bit more of a flow and movement within the body. We move through some basic movements to breath. So bending the knees, slowly start to spiral roll, using your vertebra to roll you up one by one. Allowing the arms to feel heavy, allowing the head to feel heavy as it rolls all the way up. When you get to the top, you can roll the shoulders up, back and down. And then allow your arms just to float all the way up towards the ceiling. Such a beautiful feeling. Exhale, swan dive forward as if you're diving into a swimming pool or diving into the crystal blue ocean. Bowing forehead towards the shins. Take a deep breath in, hands onto the shins. Straighten out your spine, tuck your belly in towards your spine. And then breathing in, lift all 10 toes off the mat. So grounding into all 4 corners of each foot. On the next exhale, release all 10 toes. Press the hands into the mat. Bend your knees. Step left leg back, right leg back into plank pose, Palakasana. Holding here for 3 full breaths. Strengthening through the core, strengthening through the mind. Distributing the weight throughout the body. On the next exhale, lower your knees onto the ground, untuck your toes, keep your belly active, keep your core tucked in, squeeze elbows into the chest or into the midline as you slowly start coming all the way down. Untuck your toes, slide yourself onto your mat. As you breathe in, press into the mat and lift into a baby cobra. So opening just slightly, pressing the heart forward, pelvis presses into the mat. Use your elbows, so squeeze elbows into the midline and then squeeze inner thighs together. Pretend you have a block in between your thighs. Exhale, roll your belly down, roll your chin down, roll your forehead last. Take a deep breath in here. On the exhale, press into the mat. Make your way into Melasma Child's Pose, opening the knees to the sides of the mat, touching the big toes and sinking into your hips. Forehead touches the mat or a block. Take one more inhale here. On the exhale, we slide our hands back, press them into the mat, come up onto all fours, knees stacked under the hips as you round your spine into your cat pose. On the inhale, start to lower the belly, lift the heart, lift the gaze. Exhale, tuck toes, downward dog. Pressing the hips up towards the ceiling, torso back towards the thighs. Lifting the gaze, look in between the hands, bend the knees as much as you can. Step left foot to the outside of the left palm, right foot to the outside of the right palm. Come into your squat, hands to heart center. On the next exhale, straighten your legs, shimmy your feet inwards, toes touching heels slightly apart, forehead towards the shins. And then bend the knees, breathing in, spinal roll. This time as we roll up, we'll take the arms straight up towards the ceiling, towards the sky. Allow them to float up very naturally. Exhale, start to fold forward, diving into the ocean. Take a deep breath in, hands on your shins, straighten out your spine, tuck your belly in towards the spine as you gaze forward. And then lift all 10 toes off the mat. On the next exhale, release all 10 toes. Press the hands into the mat. Bend the knees. Step right leg back, left leg back into plank pose. 3 full breaths. On the next exhale, lower your knees, untuck your toes. Squeeze elbows into the midline as you lower your body all the way down to the mat. Straighten out your body, press pelvis into the mat and then start to lift into baby cobra, opening the heart space, elbows squeezing in towards the midline, inner thighs pressing in towards each other. Exhale, tummy down, chin, forehead last. Take a deep inhale. On the exhale, press into the mat. Extend to child's pose, Melasma. Knees open, toes touching, sinking into your body, melting into the mat. Take one inhale. On the exhale, slide your hands back, round your spine. Tuck your chin into your chest, cat pose. On the inhale, start to lower the belly, lift the heart, lift the gaze. Exhale, tuck toes, downward facing dog. Breathing in, lift the gaze, look in between your hands, bend your knees, and then step right foot to the outside of the right palm, left foot to the outside of the left palm. Melasma Squat, hands to heart center. Exhale, hands come onto the mat, straighten out your legs, shimmy your feet inwards, toes touching, heels slightly apart, bow your forehead towards the shins, and then bend the knees, breathing in, spinal roll. Allowing the arms to float all the way up towards the ceiling. This time staying here. Grounding through the left foot, palms turn inwards to face each other. Grounding into the right foot, left foot rises, coming into one-legged Tadasana, left knee comes up, flexing the left foot. On the next exhale, take your hands underneath your left thigh, interlace your fingers, and straighten out the left leg. Exhale, come back to the center, release. Bring arms back up towards the ceiling. Take a twist to the left. Inhale, come back towards the center. Exhale, left foot meets the ground. Palms face each other, reground, come back to center. Breathing in, right knee rises, one-legged Tadasana. Exhale, hands underneath the right thigh, change the interlacing fingers, straighten out the right leg. Exhale, come back to the center, release, hands above your arms above your head, turn to twist to the right. Inhale, come back towards the center. Exhale, right foot meets the ground. Take a deep inhale, and then exhale, swan dive all the way back down. Bowing into a deep forward fold, just allowing your upper body to completely relax. Sending fresh blood and oxygen to the brain. And then bending the knees as much as you can slide your hands up behind you to mask your fall as you sit all the way down onto your mat. And then we'll take our pillow or our bolster. So you can take your pillow or your bolster and place it back underneath your thighs. Turn your feet, so you're going to place the soles of the feet together, Baddha Komasana. And we'll finish exactly as we started. So slowly taking the arms up behind you, rolling your spine down, vertebra by vertebra, all the way down. Adjust yourself, so just stretch a little bit or move a little bit, just get rid of any fidgeting, roll the spine so it's imprinting into the mat. Pressing feet together, the soles of the feet, adjusting shoulders, tucking chin into the chest very slightly, arms to the sides. And then start to completely relax your body. Allow your face to soften, your eyes to soften into the back of your head. Allow your fingers to curl in very naturally. And your breath to come back to a normal state. You can start to deepen the breath. Maybe wiggle fingers, wiggle toes. And then start to release your feet from each other, just straightening them out on your bolster or your pillow. And taking your time to come back into your body. But just connecting breath, almost like a breath of fresh air, running up from your feet all the way up through your legs, into the pelvis, into the spine, rising up into the chest, into the arms, the neck, and then out through the crown of the head. Taking arms above your head, giving yourself a full body stretch. And either staying here for a little bit longer in your own time, or making your way back to a seated position. Bringing the hands back into the center, connecting left and right at the heart space. The light in me honors the light in you, and together we are one. Namaste.